Good morning, everyone, and I wanted to say super hello to brand new channel members. Thank you guys so much for signing up to be part of the channel here. I love it. Today, we're going to be talking about how I became a Bangkok urban settler here in Bangkok, Thailand. And it's going to be my story of what led me to Bangkok and how I got here. And I'm going to tell you the whole thing, and I hope that you find it very interesting, and I also hope that you find it informative. May the 4th be with you, for sure. I probably should have titled that, the whole thing. Sorry, guys, got eyelash problems here. Hey, Frank, good evening to you. It is definitely more than me. Robert, how are you, man? Raymond, good morning, Raymond. Raymond is in the house. For those of you that are either watching now, watching on replay, channel memberships are available. I only have one tier. It's $2.99 a month, $2.99 a month for being able to suggest content via email directly to me, membership only post, and membership only photos. So just click the join button down below or look for the link in the description of this video. Derek C., how are you, man? Good morning. Good to see you. Matthew says hello. Hello, Matthew. Derek, you should definitely consider becoming a channel member. You've been coming around quite some time now. And yeah, you should consider it. Consider it, guys. Consider it. I know I'm a little early this morning, but I found out that everybody likes to live stream a little bit later. And that's, I just thought I would get in a little bit early. It's nothing against anybody. Bandana ZX says, sup, man? Been finding your videos informational. Oh, good. Good. That's what I make them for, man. That is what I make them for. And again, if you want more information, you can always become a channel member. I only have one tier right now, and it is $2.99 a month. Very cheap, very cheap. Because you guys know I'm going to overload you with info and all that stuff at some point anyway. Roger, what's up, man? Good to see you this morning. You and Hike and Frank and Robert. I got plenty of people in the house here, so I think I'll get started. I've already had my green juice this morning, by the way. So I think enough people have rolled in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Derek sees I am going to join. I tried last night watching your replay, but my PayPal wouldn't sign up for recurring payment, so I will be using another method of joining for sure, though. Cool. Can't wait to have you, Derek. John Mike says $3. That's right. Jazz Jackson says, good evening, and thanks for answering my teaching age limit question on the other video. You're welcome. And I think Gilmore Hike actually gave you a better answer than I gave you, Jazz. But when you become a certain age here in Thailand, it's like they cut everything off. And it's unfortunate. I have seen some older people work and teach here in Thailand, but it's extraordinarily rare. Extraordinarily rare. So anyway, let's get into the topic of being an urban settler in Bangkok and what exactly does that mean and how did I get here? Are you experiences in the house? Good to see you, my brother from the northern. I'm trying to think of something that rhymes, and I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But it's good to see you, bro. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. I'm doing well, and I certainly hope you are. Excuse me, I'm drinking Coca-Cola this morning. All right, I have my green juice. Okay, so what's an urban settler? That should be very easy to describe. An urban settler is simply somebody who settles and lives in an urban area. Bangkok is definitely an urban area. If you've never been to Bangkok before, I encourage you to come. It is it's like a miniature version of New York City. That's the best way I can think of to describe Bangkok. My first trip here to Thailand, which has been my only trip, I landed and I've left for visa runs twice, but I mean I've never really left to go anywhere. You're having a Coke Zero. I know, man. I got to get rid of all the sugar I'm putting it in my body. But anyway, so coming in, I was the person that grew up way out in the country. Yes, it is a concrete jungle. Our experience, it definitely is. I was a person that grew up in the country. So when I found the city, I was like, bam, Derek C, bam. He is now a channel member. Thank you, Mr. Derek C. We are glad to have you, brother. And if you go to the community tab, you can see the community posts that I've already put up. So you're getting the video suggestion with the email. You're getting community post, which will be at least weekly, and you're going to get photos of either travels or photo shoots I've done with ladies out in America and Thailand and the Philippines. Pretty cool. Thanks for throwing up the PayPal link there, Mr. RU Experience. I appreciate it. All contributions go toward travel and equipment for the channel, just so you guys know. Money well spent. You're very welcome. Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate that. Makes me feel really, really good about having such a great DoMoreLife family. I just love it. I'm going to be introducing new tiers later, and they will have some pretty cool stuff on it for sure. Hype joined the G.I. Joe fan club and Marvel Comics back in the day. That's cool, man. To each his own, right? So let me go ahead and start the entire story. I was in the Philippines, and this was right after I graduated college at 36, by the way. For those of you that didn't know, for about 3 days after I graduated, I was on a plane to, yes, RU Experience. Throw it up there, brother. I appreciate that. I moved to the Philippines directly after college, and I spent 9 months in the Philippines. The first 4 months I was there, I was in Cebu, and I have to tell you that I really had the time of my life. I just didn't know how to budget my money. If I would have been able to budget my money, I would have been just in. Man, I would have probably stayed there for a long time. I made a poor decision to move up north with who I thought were good people, but the situation turned out to be bad. 16 months you lived in South Korea, Jazz. Miss it. Thailand is definitely next. Thailand's a great country, man. It is. It's a really good country. So the situation in hey Ross, good to see you. The situation in the Philippines was not improving at all, and I made the decision to split out of the Philippines, and I really didn't know where to go. So I kind of looked at a few countries, and it seems like yeah, you got a good point there, RU Experience. It seemed like Thailand just made the most sense. It was a little more developed than the Philippines. Not talking crap about the Philippines. I'm just saying. It was the infrastructure and all that stuff was a little more developed. And it seemed like a good place for me to chill out for a while. And at the time, I didn't have to worry about income. I had a monthly income, although it was low. I still had monthly income. So I sold all my real camera gear and while I was still in the Philippines, and I went to decided to come to Thailand because I checked out Cambodia and I checked out Vietnam, but Thailand just seemed to make the most sense. So I came to Thailand. And when I landed in Thailand, I landed here in Bangkok, and I got off the plane, and I was a little bit nervous, I guess. I wasn't like super duper nervous, but I was a little bit nervous. The good news is um, I had a place to stay for a week. And what I did was during that week, I just got on the BTS and beat the pavement until I found a place to live here in Bangkok. So I found a place off of an MRT stop a long way outside the city, but still with the BTS right there. I could get in the city pretty much anytime I wanted to, very, very close to what I needed to get to within 30, 45 minutes. Taking the BTS is a problem for some people. For me, it's not. It just doesn't bother me. Now, I was on a tourist visa, remember that. And I was looking for a place to stay sorry guys. Okay. I was looking for a place to stay that I could I could pay a 3 month, because I knew my tourist visa was only good for like 60 days and 30-day extension. So I knew I was only going to be here for like 3 months, and then I was either going to have to move along somewhere else or just do something different in general. Yeah, you're right. Our experience, as long as the BTS is close to you, you can stay anywhere. That's true. So what I decided to do was I was in an Airbnb for a week, and I decided to go around BTS locations, and I found a apartment complex, and that is the apartment that you can see in my video. I found an apartment in Bangkok for 6,000 baht a month. It was the greatest thing ever. It was better than the apartment that I'm living in now, and this apartment cost 9,000 baht a month. It had its own separate bathroom, it had its own separate kitchen, and it had its own separate bedroom with a small living area, and it was 6,000 baht a month. I think I got a deal because it was just the opening, and as I went in there, what I did was just pay them 18,000 baht up front for the 3 months. So I had the condo for 3 months. All I had to pay was electric, and it worked out great. Unfortunately, I only spent about 4 weeks in that. I think 5 weeks total in that apartment full time, because I got a job in Rayong. We'll talk about that in a second. Be accountable too, says AJC. Great to see you looking healthy, wealthy, and wise. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You picked the 2. I hear you, bro. So I moved to Rayong, and it's a much smaller city, much less urban setting. Even though I was in the city part of Rayong, it was still much less urban than Bangkok was. But teaching was, in the beginning, when I decided to move to Rayong to start teaching was really 2 parts. One, to see if I could, because I went over all this in another video, and if you want to watch it, you're welcome to watch it. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. You can the story of my life or something like that. But I needed to see if I could go back to work full time, not work on computers and all that other stuff. So I went there and I stayed, I want to say 17 months, 16 months, something like that. Stayed 16 months around. Around is where I met Ross. Please check out Ross's channel, by the way. And Are You Experienced? He's got a good little channel over there that he's trying to build on. And Go More Hike. They all have channels that they're trying to build. And Go More Hike just did a slideshow with pictures today. I love the panoramas in it too. It looked really, really good. But go check those guys out after this video. So I'm in Rayong. I'm teaching, and if you don't know, you have to be in the more touristy area, the larger the city that you're in here in Thailand, it tends to yield more English speaking people. Usually, that's how it works. So, Rayong was not really a English speaking place, and I didn't have. I mean, I worked 40 hours a week at the job, and then I was putting in about another 40 hours a week on YouTube, trying to build this channel. Yeah, Dale, I tried to shave up a little bit and get neat. Been a long time since I shaved, so I thought I would try it out. But I wanted to. Rayong is a great place if you want to retire, okay? But it's not. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. Rayong is a great place to live if that's your style of living. If you like small cities, if you like being able to get to rural places very quickly, Rayong is great for that. Rayong is great for a bunch of stuff. They got good beaches. I have nothing against Rayong as a town. I mean, all the people there were fairly good to me, and when I say okay, all the Thais there were very good to me. That's what I should say. But I had an opportunity to move back to Bangkok to teach in April. I think it was April. No, March of last year. And I decided to take that. Yes, Rayong does have Piney Beach, and I love Piney Beach. I decided to take that opportunity to come back to Bangkok because I really, really love Bangkok. And now that the BTS MRT Purple Line Circle is complete around the city, you can really go wherever you want to go, and you don't really need transportation. Although I do still have a motorbike that I drive most of the time, and most of the time I do that just because it's faster than taking the BTS. But there are many times when traffic is it's tremendous here in Bangkok. The traffic level is, and getting through the traffic is not as easy as you would think it would be. So it may work to my advantage sometimes to take the BTS, but I tend to be more of a motorbiker. Driving a motorbike in Bangkok in an urban setting like Bangkok is very dangerous. Please be somewhat experienced on a bike before you try it. I would definitely encourage that. And I would also encourage understanding that you are in a big city. There's a lot of people in the city. Even if you live like me, I live a little bit on the outside edge of the city. And, I don't really, we still have the same kind of congestion with traffic. We still have the same problems that you do in the inner city. It's just not, it doesn't go on for quite as long because on the outside areas, you kind of run out of room and then it starts to get rural again. Our experience says I wouldn't even take a motorbike taxi in Bangkok, too dangerous. I've taken them many times. I don't mind taking them. These guys in Bangkok, these motorbike taxis in Bangkok, they really know how to drive. Like, they're good at what they do. It's one of those things. Once you take one or two, you'll probably wind up taking more. And that's something else that goes with the urban settling in such a place. Hey, Doug. Interesting. Jazz says subscribe to all you lads. Very good, Jazz. They're nut bars, our experience says. He's talking about the motorbike taxi drivers. They can be. You definitely want to be careful for sure. definitely want to be careful, and you want to hold on very tight and keep your legs tight to the bike itself when you are on the back of a motorbike taxi anywhere, but definitely here in Bangkok, because they're going to split lanes, they're going to change lanes, they're going to drive on sidewalks sometimes, even though they're not supposed to, and you have to be ready for this type of response. Yeah, it is hard to walk in Bangkok because traffic is so heavy. When everything's normal, at the time of this video, we're still currently in going easing our way out of the restrictions that were placed on us by the global event. But even then, it's still hard to walk in Bangkok. Like many times, you will find yourself walking on a sidewalk and you have to stop or turn or twist, that kind of thing, to be able to walk. And it does get aggravating sometimes, but once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. Our experience says I seen the moto taxi guy try to fit his 24-inch bike into an 18-inch space with my legs hanging off the side. But somehow it's amazing, man, because somehow they do it. Like they just get it done. I don't know why. Just like NYC, I don't know. I've never taken a bike taxi in NYC. Yeah, it's very, very common to go through an urban setting like this, like in Bangkok, and go through and on the back of a motorbike taxi and go between cars and go around things and all that stuff. It happens. But this is how I got back to Bangkok. Was leaving Rayong, and my buddy Ross helped me out moving up here, and found a nice apartment. One of my other friends that is a common traveler here, he actually found this place for me, and very grateful for that. But he was able to find it while I was still in Rayong, and he was in Bangkok. So found the place I live in, and I didn't even come up and look at it. He just showed me pictures of it on his phone, and the next weekend I was living back in Bangkok again. I have to tell you, I was very, very, very happy to be back in Bangkok. Bangkok is, excuse me 1 second, guys. Okay. Bangkok is one of my favorite places because there's literally anything. You can do whatever you want, and it goes without saying. You can get on river boats, you can go to coffee shops, you can go some of the finest shopping malls in the world are here in Bangkok. If you've ever been to Icon Siam Mall, you will understand what I mean by fine shopping. That is a mall that has a huge Apple store. It has Ferrari dealerships, Bentley dealerships, Aston Martin dealerships in the mall. So it's a big change from the rural area. Also in Bangkok, a lot of people speak English, and I was very happy for that. Even though I know it's my responsibility to learn their language, it's not their responsibility to learn my language. Learning their language was very, very important to me, but it's something that I've struggled with a lot. Our experience says the video of Ross moving Jerry is on his channel in the video section if you want to check it out. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it is. We did a live stream the whole trip. Terminal 21 is also a good mall. It is. Terminal 21 here in Bangkok is a great mall. It's a good place to be. Lots of fine shopping. They also have some like market type shopping in there where you can get things cheaper. But this all goes into the urban setting that I'm in here in Bangkok, and I really enjoy it because there's always something to do when there's no curfew. There's always something to do. You're never going to get bored. You're never going to get tired, but you may get exhausted of the constant traffic and the constant smog. That is a problem here in any urban area, and definitely here in Bangkok. You are going to want to wear some type of face mask, even if there's no other reason to wear it, just to protect yourself from the air pollution. Jesse says Ferrari makes more money off merchandise rather than on their cars. Fun fact, I would believe that. Sounds right. Ross says, would you say Bangkok is the New York City of Thailand? I actually said something like that a little bit earlier. I said it's like a mini New York City. Bangkok is, but that's a good comparison, Ross. And it really is. If you've ever been to New York City when it's hustling and bustling, you know that you can kind of get an idea. And the same thing applies here in Bangkok, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the urban setting because there's, when you're in Rayong, you got to go this far to get to whatever it is you're going to a grocery store, to a market. Some of them are way out sometimes. And I just didn't like that. But here, I can go to a market right down the road. I can go get anything I need within, I don't know, 4 or 5 kilometers at the most. And I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to go and just do. And I don't really have to ask a lot of questions. I just go and I just do, and that's it. Yes, both are 24-hour cities. And a Rayong is a 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. kind of town. I would agree with that. Living there for 16 months, I would have to say that is the truth. Our experience says, yes, Ross, you can do anything in Bangkok at any time. I landed one time at 4 a.m. By 5 a.m., I was getting a massage at my hotel. I like that. Another thing about how I got here, so that's how I got back to Bangkok, was the job offer with teaching here. And I was not disappointed by coming back. I was a little disappointed at the actual location of where I live, but that wasn't the guy who found this place for me. That wasn't his fault, and it really wasn't my fault either, because I couldn't understand exactly where I was, because you guys have to realize my first living experience in Bangkok was only about 5 weeks, and I didn't do a whole lot of discovering in that 5 weeks. I was trying to learn about Thailand through YouTube and through other areas and other venues, and I just couldn't, I didn't have time to learn everything I should have. So what I started doing was getting on the BTS and going around and trying to find places, things to do, that kind of thing. Ike says, Ross sounds like Rayong is a city for me, with my woman and my kids and my dogs and me. I love that. If any of you guys have not signed up to be a channel member, feel free to do so at any time. And the perks are explained over in that area. There's more than what I put on my channel perks video. I went over it yesterday. In addition to the suggested content, you'll also receive at least weekly members only community posts, and you will also receive members only community photos. So it should be nice. Ross says your apartment is okay, but the building is amazing. The view from your place is not much, but better than Rayong's apartment. Yeah, I agree. Dale says, I love Emporium and Quarter, Terminal 21, great foods, great shopping, and lots of sights to view. 100% agree. The whole area around Terminal 21 really is great. Do you still eat Subway sandwiches? hike. I don't stay near a Subway, but I do stay near a whole bunch of street food, people that cook street food. And I try my best to eat as much street food as possible as often as I can. it's They have really good street food here in Bangkok. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Street food here in Bangkok is like some of the best, in my opinion, that I've had. Now you can go to any city in Thailand and get good street food. There's no question about that. But there's an abundance of it here in Bangkok because there's just the city's bigger. There are more vendors. Um, that's something I really like about urban setting. Um, Street food that doesn't get you sick, Ross says. Well, put it to you like this: I haven't been. If I've gotten sick off the street food here in Bangkok, it's been because I got the spicy stuff, and I don't agree with my digestive system. Doesn't want to have anything to do with spicy foods. So, therefore, um, I didn't get sick off the spicy. I mean, I got sick off the spicy, but I haven't really had a vendor place to go in and get food from and get sick from it. Other than me ordering something I didn't know I was ordering. That was my own fault. What I do is the same thing everybody else does. I follow the locals. Follow the locals. If there's a bunch of locals around a street food vendor, then I know for sure 110% that that food is more than likely going to be okay. And I look for that every time I go out and every time I go looking for food, and it seems to work itself out pretty good. So, a lot of people come to Thailand and they want to settle in rural regions. I'm all for it. Everybody has their own different life that they want to live when they come over here, okay, or vacation that they want to take if it's a vacation. Some like some go to Pattaya, some go to Phuket, some go to Bangkok, some go to Rayong. There are many different places, islands, different venues that you can choose from to have a life or to have a vacation over here in Thailand. Personally, for me, Bangkok is the place to be, and that's just simply for a number of just very simple reasons. I like the easy access to both airports here in Bangkok. I like the easy access to the BTS. I like the BTS and MRT system. I like being near a bunch of people. I like having a lot of people around. Um, that's just me. Ross says, I think if you grew up in a big urban setting, as you get older, you want to get away from it. I lived in major cities as a child and all through my 30s. Yeah, and I think it's just the opposite for me because I lived in the country, way out in the country, when I was young, and all through my growing up years, I lived way out in the country. And when I found the city, I moved to Charlotte. That was a big move for me, um, and I really liked the because that was the most intense city I'd ever lived in at the time. And then coming to the Philippines first in Cebu, that was another big city with culture shock. And then coming to Thailand, coming to Bangkok was a huge more modern city, and I had about 3 times the culture shock coming to Bangkok than I did the Philippines. Most of that has to do with the language barrier. You guys will find out that the language barrier is sometimes hard to conquer, sometimes not. It does take time. Some people are people who learn a lot of English, or I'm sorry, a lot of Thai very quickly. They have the brain for that, And I am not one of those people. I'm just telling you, I am not one of those people. So the urban setting for me here in Bangkok is probably one of the biggest benefits that there is, because many people here speak English, and they also, if they speak English, they will also tell you a lot, many times, of what you. Uh, I'm sorry, I was reading a comment. That they will tell you, they will speak to you in English and then tell you what the Thai word is. So the next time you'll know. Brandon says, quick question, which would you prefer, Thailand or the Philippines in general? For me, that's Thailand. And if you want to see a really good video on a comparison between Thailand and the Philippines, 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, three of us expats got on a live stream. It's here on this stream, and it's called Thailand versus the Philippines, and it says the never-ending question. Go watch that live stream, because you're dealing with myself and two other highly experienced, well-traveled expats that have lived. One lived primarily in the Philippines for about 7 years, and the other one is just a well-traveled expat who's lived in Thailand and the Philippines, like me. But he's more well-traveled than I am. So for me personally, I got to go with Thailand. The basic reason for that, that was Friday night USA time, 10-4. One of the most basic reasons I can say I prefer Thailand is just the infrastructure itself. That's a big deal, and I like going places that have infrastructure, and this is definitely one of those places. So my story to the concrete jungle and how I got myself here to Bangkok was basically because I took a job. My first trip here was, I just wanted to live here and find out what I could about the place. But you have to understand, you can't just live in Thailand on a tourist visa. You can't do it. It's near impossible. I mean, with today's, they've upgraded their system so much, it's nearly impossible. So I was either going to have to get a non-immigrant visa of some kind, and there was two that I could qualify for, but one of them was a non-B visa and work. And I was already thinking about going back to work because my YouTube channel was starting to make a little bit of money, and that's what happened. Brandon says, no problem, and thank you. I asked because I went to Thailand on a holiday last Christmas before this sea mess, and however, there's this Filipino that loves me, and I don't know if I can make that work. Hey, man, you can try. You can definitely try. Because you got the C word in there, we're going to take that out because YouTube just has a big problem with it. But don't take any offense to it, Brandon. We just have to be careful what we say in here. Brandon says, because I plan to become a teacher and live in Thailand in my life. Good. Good. I can definitely help you answer some questions and anything else you need in terms of visa preparation and stuff like that. It's okay. No need to apologize. It's YouTube, man. We have to keep YouTube happy. And I personally don't care what you say at all, ever. But certain things just can't be said on these streams, unfortunately. I wish they could. So I know for sure tomorrow that I will not be having a live stream because I'll be at work. So everybody can take the day off because I've been doing a lot of these live streams. Try to put together some kind of video maybe that I'll release in the morning. I don't know. It may come out. It may not. I may do a live stream when I get home from work tomorrow. I'm not sure. I've been thinking about, and as has some of my subscribers have suggested, and the channel members have suggested, that I tried doing some live streams at some different times. So I thought I would try earlier first, and then maybe later after that. So I may pop up on one of these off days at 12 p.m. Thailand time, Bangkok time, and that's going to be extremely late on the East Coast of the United States, or in the United States, and it'll be about 1 hour. It'll be 1 o'clock in the Philippines, and I'm starting to get some cross traffic again between all of that. So, with all that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. I'd like to thank everybody who joined as a channel member, both yesterday and today, because I've only had them up for 2 days. I really appreciate you guys joining up. And I just want to say thanks to everybody who made a comment in today's live stream. Our experience, you take care, bud. Good to see you. Really good to see you. And I appreciate you being here. Shorter tonight. Yep, a little bit shorter vlog, because I don't know if the barbers are open yet or not, but I need this mess. Look at this. That thing's got to get cut at some point. And I went to look for a barber yesterday, realized it was a holiday, and they were still closed. Now, I don't know if they were still closed because of the emergency decree, or if they were still closed because of the holiday. I have no idea. But I'll definitely be looking for one at some point in time today. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys understand a little bit more about what it's like to live in an urban setting. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next live stream. Really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much, Roger. Good to see you guys. And all channel members, appreciate it very much. Hike and everybody else. Our experience says car dealerships and a few small shops open today in Canada. That's good. And he says if you have a separate entrance to the street, you could open. Very interesting. I'm following news from around the world, but I can't seem to get anything like really consistent. So hopefully I'll be able to find a barber that's open around here somewhere. That would be very nice. But anyway, you guys take care. Remember, this channel is dedicated to travel, fun, photography, and education. And whatever you do today, be sure you find a way to do more life. See ya.